I am so excited for you to try this video today. You're going to sculpt your shoulders, tighten your core, and strengthen your glutes, all while working your way into a revolved half moon. You ready? Let's do it.
Welcome to yoga. Meet me in child's pose and find your deep, smooth breath. If you have Ujjayi pranayama in your practice, ocean breath, begin to ignite it now. And use your breath, whether calm and controlled or ocean breath, as your home base throughout your practice today. Yoga is uniting your breath and your movement. Rise up into a tabletop and firm up your core as you extend your right arm forward and your left leg back, right thumb pointing up, left toes pointing down. Keep your core stable in between and take a big inhale. Exhale, tap elbow to knee underneath you, rounding your spine as you do so. Inhale to reach, keep your belly pulling in. Exhale to tap. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. This time, reach, bend your back knee, and rotate your right arm back to grab onto your back foot. Bow open as you lift out of your left shoulder and kick your foot into your hand to lift even higher for 3, 2, 1. Back to tabletop. Firm up your core and extend your left arm forward, right leg back. Left thumb pointing up, right toes pointing down. Inhale. Exhale, tap, elbow to knee. Inhale to reach. Tap. Reach. Tap. This time, reach. Bend your back knee, rotate your arm back, and grab onto your foot. Lift out of your right shoulder. Roll your left shoulder open, kick your foot into your hand, and lift a little bit higher for 3, 2, 1. Slow release, back to your tabletop. And make your way to downward facing dog. Notice where your breath went, and see if you can bring it back. Then lower down to your knees. Meet me in hero pose. For this next sequence, I highly recommend that you have a block nearby. When you're ready, meet me in child's pose. Find your breath, calm and controlled, or Ujjayi pranayama, the ocean breath that brings power to your practice. And remember, this is practice. How do you speak to yourself in times of suffering and growth? Let that be a part of your practice too. Make your way to downward facing dog. Then just step your right foot forward into a low lunge. And step your back foot up about a foot's distance. Rotate your back heel down as if you were going into pyramid pose. But keep a bend in your right knee, and with your right hand helping you with balance, take your left hand to grab onto your right shin. Now resist your right shin against your left hand as you pull your left hand against your right shin. Doing so should engage the muscles in your right glute. Now, I want you to maintain that engagement of your right glute, even as you take your left hand back down to the mat, or ideally up on a block like I'm doing. With that engagement in your right glute, Slowly straighten out your right leg as much as you can today. Take your right hand to your lower back, and with your right glute still engaged, you should have a flat lower back here. If not, you can feel it with your hands and adjust. With your right hand on your lower back, slowly rotate your right shoulder open as you twist to the right in your upper body. Stay here, or you can reach your right arm up to the ceiling. This is revolved triangle, a very challenging pose that will challenge you, body, breath, and mind. So where is your body, your breath, and your mind within this challenge? 3, 2, 1. Slowly release your right hand down. Shake it out for a second, and you can practice that one more time or practice revolved half moon, which is very similar, just more of a progression of this pose. So if you're doing revolved triangle again, just move on your own. For revolved half moon, first thing I want you to do is take your left hand to your right shin. Create that resistance to fire up your right glute. Got it? Good. Keep it. Then take your left hand back down onto the ground or on your block, but place that hand or block a foot in front of you, giving yourself a little extra space. Place your right hand on your lower back. Make sure it stays flat. You do not want your hips to dip one side or the other. And with your lower back flat, your right glute engaged, your left hand grounded, slowly shift your weight forward into your right leg as you straighten it out and lift your back leg up to just your toes. Then use the strength of your back leg to slowly lift your left leg in line with your spine, driving back through your heel. Now you can keep your hand on your lower back or extend it up to the ceiling for the full expression of half moon. Practice your breath within this pose, no matter where you are within the progressions of this pose. Entering in the way that we are today is going to actually use your body. Fire up all the right muscles. Practice your breath instead of just swinging wildly through these really intense full body poses. You're doing so great. Breath, mind, and body. When you're ready, slowly release and meet me in a forward fold. Separate your feet a little bit wider than usual and grab onto your big toes, wrapping your 2-piece fingers around your big toes. Bend your elbows back as you bend your knees forward. Inhale to lengthen your spine, exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Pause here and breathe. Or if you're ready to move on, then just release your grip and step your right foot back, setting up for a pyramid first. So only about 3 or 4 feet distance between your feet. Lower your back heel down. With your hands supporting your weight on the ground so far and your left knee bent, first just take your right hand to your left shin and resist each other. So you're pressing your left shin against your right hand as you're pulling your right hand against your left shin. Doing so should fire up a muscle in your left glute, your left buttock, left hip area. So feel that muscle fired up and see if you can maintain that muscle firing even as you lower your right hand back down to the ground or onto your block. Now with that muscle fired up, slowly take your left hand to your lower back. Make sure it stays flat and begin to straighten out your left leg as much as you'd like today. It does not have to be actually straight. Remember that. And then slowly rotate your left shoulder open. And make sure you lift out of your bottom shoulder so you're not dumping down towards the ground. With your neck in line with your spine, fire up the muscles in your back and breathe. This pose is stretching and strengthening, and it's all kinds of challenging. Practice your breath, your mind, and your body connection here. 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down, and let's get ready to set up for half moon. And remember, you can just do revolved triangle all over again, that's fine too. But if you're doing half moon, the first thing I want you to do is step your right hand or block forward 1 foot's distance. And then take your right hand to your left shin again. Use that resistance to fire up the muscle in your left glute. Keep that engagement. That engagement is so important throughout this entire pose. Then lower your right hand down to the ground or your block. Take your left hand to your lower back. Make sure that it is flat, so if there was like a platter on top, nothing would fall off. And slowly rotate your left shoulder open and back, and keep your left hand where it is on your lower back as you lift your right foot up to just the tippy toes. Drive back through your back heel, fire up the muscles in your leg, and take it a little further by lifting your right leg up in line with your spine. Continue driving back through your heel. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head. Rotate open through your shoulders. Make sure you're not dumping into your right shoulder, so lift away from the ground. And if you'd like, reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Breathe. And if ever you fall out, just take your time coming right back in. Three, 2, 1. Slowly release for gorilla pose. A deep forward fold where you're standing on your hands. With a deep bend in your knees, slide your palms underneath your hands, palms facing up. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your jaw, just squishing and compressing your hands and wrists. When you're ready, release into child's pose. With your hips reaching high, your chest reaching low, shoulders, neck, and jaw relaxed. Unite body, breath, and mind. And at this point, you can release your Ujjayi pranayama, your ocean breath, and just find a controlled, slow breath to help calm your body. And with this breath in place, rise up and make your way to half pigeon, right knee to your right wrist. Sink into your hips and take your time as you slowly hinge forward into sleeping pigeon, coming all the way down to maybe your forearms. Let your head hang heavy, or rest your forehead on stacked fists. Where can you let go? Where can you relax a little further? And take your time as you slowly rise. making your way back to your extended child's pose. Notice if you can feel blood flow, sensation, tension releasing. Through a big breath in, relax your lower back with a big breath out. Then rise back up and take half pigeon with your left knee towards your left wrist. And take your time as you settle into a similar variation that you took on the other side. Rise up, make your way to your final child's pose, and take a scan of your body, noticing how you feel and where you feel it, and how you might feel different from your first child's pose today. Namaste.
Okay, how do you feel? Let me know in the comments below how that revolved half moon worked out for you. And if you want to deeply stretch out after that, I definitely recommend my 25-minute hips slow stretch routine to get into your hips, your legs, and your lower back. It's going to feel so good. Just click the link in the description below or scan this QR code and I'll see you back on your mat.